Yeah. Hello. Welcome to the Geeky Ones, episode 105. We're gonna talk about best pop punk and emo songs of the 2000s. So I'm Jude. Below me is Steven, and for this episode, we have two guests. We have Jackie on my side there, mirror. So Jackie, say hi to everyone,
Hello.
and then we have Karen De Vera, who has been a guest for a few times in this podcast. So pretty cool. So hello.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me again.
Okay. Now, recently, pop punk and emo has had some buzz because of a certain festival. So you know, when we were young was announced. So basically, it's a loaded now 2 day festival with
Hmm.
My Chemical Romance, Paramore, and
3 days na siya.
3 days
yeah, it's
na?
8 days. So
Yeah, they
it's
Damn.
extended.
basically it's like
Okay.
it's essentially pop punk Coachella with
Pretty much, yeah.
all of the best bands of best pop punk and emo bands of the 2000s bunched up together in one for each day. I think they didn't change the set list, so all bands are performing on all 3 days, which I think is cool, and I think it's doable. Anyway, so yeah, as a tribute to that, we have 20 songs. I remember saying that if we have any repeating songs on our list, we'll streamline. I think no, we don't. Okay,
We have a
I was
few.
no. There were no
Oh
repeating songs.
shit.
We just
Okay,
Oh
this
my
will be
God.
fun then. This is gonna be fun. Let's
so
go.
they were really 20. So it's a complete list, and that's pretty fun. And order goes Karen's picks will start, followed by me, and then Steven, and then Jackie on your. That's the in that order.
All right.
I don't know why I shuffled it that way. Maybe that's how iPods shuffle or something. But yeah, okay. So
R.I.P.
that's
iPod, man.
so
Tito,
we start
what's an
episode 100.
iPod?
Oh no!
My
I would
back. My
expect
back.
if I were teaching still again, I would expect students to ask that. What's this? It's an iPod. What's that?
Oh
That's
my
where we play
god.
music. But can you play music on your phone? Yes, I know you can do it right now.
An
Yeah,
iPod shuffle nga is a
I
clip
brought
na on
mine.
TikTok.
Oh
yeah. I
my
remember mine
god.
got
Buhay
confiscated
pa.
in high school, so that was
Oh
fun.
man,
Was
classic.
the iPod Shuffle that's the clip one?
Yeah, the clip.
Yeah, the
The
clip-on
clip
one.
the clip
This is
one
the
with 1 gig
video.
storage, so
Oh
play
yeah, the video
I can only
one.
play like 60 songs.
Yeah. Oh my
Pretty.
For
God, the
shuffle.
classic.
The
And
classic though,
then
I want the classic to come back, honestly. But anyway,
It's
that's
so
another
nice.
topic.
they can make it come back with at least 64 gig, which is doable now. Or
Yeah.
Oh.
slap an iPod with an SSD and we'll be fine.
Mm-mm.
It's 500 gigs of music. But yeah, we'll start, and first song of our best pop punk and emo songs is wait, I think before we start, let's have a background or something.
Who are these
Yeah,
people?
the 2000s were let's say all of us are high school at the very least are high school
High school slash
guys.
Yeah.
college.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and pop
High
punk
school.
and emo were some of the biggest artists there. So guitars, eyeliner, the
Vans,
color
Chuck
jack
Taylors, my
Vans.
is
gosh.
very popular, and
Those
Bangs.
wristbands, endless
yeah,
wristbands.
so many bands.
The fingerless gloves.
Oh my
Yeah, there's
God.
a
The
reason
hats,
why
The
Oh my gosh,
hat.
the hats. So cool.
the Fallout Boy hat.
and then
Yeah.
emo Friendster profiles. You can't
And
it can't be
oh,
it
With
cannot
Pawn and
be
Z.
Emily
out.
the Strange.
With Emily Desiree.
But yeah, that's pretty much the pop punk and emo experience of the 2000s. That's 2000s high school in a nutshell as well, and
Hmm.
it's fun. And then yeah. Also, I think it was also a time where a lot of people picked up a guitar, which was
mm.
fun. Nice, everyone picking up
Everyone
a guitar.
started bands during this time. A lot of pop punk
That's
To
true.
bands.
be fair,
Jude is one of the. Jude is
yeah,
Yeah.
I was a part of at least three in a way of One was a one-off band, so that was
Mm-mm.
nice.
What was
Yeah,
your
but yeah, it was.
genre? Yeah.
We weren't. We tried pop punk. It wasn't our thing, so we just went alternative. So yeah, it was fine. But yeah, the 2000s were fun in that way. Lots of fun, lots of great music. Like I think it was the year of like after the likes of new metal like Linkin Park and hard rock, and then pop punk joined in, and then there was also R&B. So that
Ah,
it
yeah,
was an
that's
era of
true.
fun. It was an era of very mixed genres. But yeah, we're talking about pop punk and emo here, and we have 20 songs, so we're gonna cover. And then to start off
It's a lot.
is Make Damn Sure by Taking Back Sunday, which is actually just one full title. It's one word combined. Yeah. But yeah, Karen, this is your pick. So yeah, you can talk about Make Damn Sure and why it's part of your top five.
Well, in general, maybe I can give a background how I got into emo. So, like the interesting thing is, most of the music you're exposed to or influenced by is usually from your parents, your family members, older siblings. But emo as a genre was the first time that I was influenced by my peers, my environment. Like it felt like genre for my own generation. I think that's why it's very nostalgic for me, and it has a special place in my black/pink heart with skulls. So make damn sure was one of the my iPod mainstays. I don't know why. There's just something about it. And I love how there's no spaces reflecting, the the text messaging era where tipid yung mga word count natin. Kasi baka magka-extra piso. So,
Oh
there
my
you go.
god, yes. Those days, man.
Tsaka I love the start of it. Yung parang siyang huminga. Parang guwanan siya. So, yeah, listen to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
part. yung ganun siya eh. Alright, take it away.
But yeah. Make Damn Sure is actually one of the I think it's the only Taking Back Sunday song that I listen religiously, so that's fine. That's actually
Mm.
really cool. How about Jackie? Do you listen to it? Yeah, sure. Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the hardest taking back Sunday song to sing ever.
Parang di ba nakakapaos?
Oo.
Grabe ganun.
Parang color blue ka na after the song.
Parang ano yan.
My God. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
go
when you get
crazy
to that
every song.
chorus, right? Para kang paos na by the end of it.
Totoo.
Yeah, it's a oh my god, it's a really hard chorus kasi
Mm.
it's a
I think
shout.
I think that's what makes it so definitive of the genre. Like it's the screamo type talaga. Yung ganun ka.
It's teenage angst in a nutshell in some parts. But yeah, so that's our first song, and the next one is my pick, my number five. This one is a bit older than the other pop punk bands. It's actually it's one of the most of the pop punk bands in the later half of the 2000s were actually their influence is actually this. So this is Motion City soundtracks. The Future Freaks Me Out. So it's a 2001 2002 song. So a bit earlier than a lot of the bands here. I think the earliest. So I like this. I think I like this a bit more after after listening to it way like years after listening to it. Like I appreciated that Motion City soundtrack is like one of the pioneer pop punk bands, like the likes of in a level like Blink 182. They're influential. Like this is the bands we listen to, so we wanna emulate their sound. We wanna sound like them. So this is one of the bands that we're in. But yeah, I like future. The future freaks me out because it's like it defines like the small existential crisis you have as you enter adulthood. The title actually defines what the song is. Like the future freak the singer out, and it's one of those songs. pop punk songs that are really timeless and so relatable even after these years. Thank God cell phones are a thing because he mentions a cell phone there. Although he calls it cellular phone, so no one calls it that way anymore. But yeah, Future Freaks Me Out is like an anthem for like a generation as well. Like, it's you being unsure of what you want to do after entering adulthood. So like it's relatable. It's always a good listen. It's a very quick listen, and this is another song na mapapaos ka when you hear it because he every like end of the line he has this high pitch. He goes into a sudden high pitch, which is so weird even for me. Like it's what makes the song unique though. But it's really fun. So yeah, it's one of it's the oldest song on this list. I would bet none of the others come close. But yeah, this is Motion City soundtrack. Yeah, they're still chugging along. I think so. They're pretty there. But yeah, next is Steven. This is another nostalgia trip. This is 1985 by Bowling for Soup, which is all 80s, 90s references in a song.
So the crazy part about this song is that it talks about nostalgia and longing for the 80s with Bruce Springsteen, Madonna, with Nirvana, U2, Blondie, all these bands. The song itself is old enough to be in college now. Imagine
Yeah,
that.
it can now have a job at this
It can
I
point.
now
just
have a
All of our
job because
songs, most
it
of our
was
songs
released in
can have
'04. So
a
imagine mo,
job.
like the generation that listened to 1985, like trying to discover U2, Nirvana, and all these bands are pretty much the generation working, like our generation, in the working and all. It's just it's surreal. It's surreal na nandito na tayo sa stage na to na 1985 isn't like a song talking about the past is now a song we are now being nostalgic about. The song about nostalgia is something we're not being nostalgic about. Um,
Yeah. Well, a song
it,
a song that name dropped the 80s. I think it's our generation's version of We Didn't Start the Fire
oh my God, you're
by
right.
Billy Joel. If you guys know
Fudge.
that
Yeah, but
song.
That's
now we're
true.
old enough to have that kind of song. To like
Yeah,
look
Yeah,
that's
back on
true.
like
yeah.
emo songs.
It's
I
about
think
time
there's
we
a
have a
song
song
right
that
about the 2000s. I forgot the
yeah,
song, but I think I'll Google it. But I
I
Hmm.
think they
remember
kind of I think there was an update to 1985 in that way.
Maybe.
Someone
2005 na
yeah,
siya.
someone sang right. Like like she fell in love in the
yeah, I can't
2000s.
I can't remember the I
Like
can't remember the version, but yeah,
yeah,
I remember
I will
having
always
like
remember. And then she was like,
at least a 2020 update, so that's one thing.
yeah, she
That
mentioned actually pop songs. Like she was like maybe singing bye bye bye. Hold up,
Probably
if you wanna
Oh
Ariana,
go
my
I think.
there,
Is
god.
it Ariana or
right?
somebody else?
no,
Baka
No,
si
it was someone
Ariana.
else.
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
it's either them or Bowling for Soup did its own revival in some at some point,
Maybe,
and I
maybe, yeah.
just can't remember right now. But yeah, um, but yeah, 1985 is one of those songs that are just anthemic in their own in their own
Yeah.
right. It's fun.
Like
Also, fun fact,
hmm.
Steven,
Ano?
it's not their song. It's not Bowling for Soup song.
Yeah, it's SR-71
Yeah, it's an
by Mitch
it's a
Allen, who's now a producer in Hollywood. So like he makes more
it's a
money now as a
cover
producer.
it's a cover song, and
Hmm.
I listened to the original. Yeah, they did it way better.
It's really
Yeah, I would say they streamlined the lyrics were way better
for SR-71 or Bowling for Soup?
for Bowling for Soup. It was
Ah,
better.
okay, okay.
It was
'Cause I thought
smoother.
you were saying the
No,
SR-71
no, I don't
version.
like I don't like the original is like comparing Cindy Lauper's
Yeah,
you
medyo
just
pilit,
want
'di
to
ba?
have fun with the original that sounds like I don't know what it should sound. It sounds like a race
Yeah.
car. Anyway, yeah.
Aris.
Um, let's go. Next pick is Jackie's pick. It's Helena by My
Oh my
Chemical
god.
Romance, which is another
Classic.
Classic.
genre defining song. So
Yeah. So so we make a quick context. Like my exposure to emo was like in first year high school. But before that, like I've been listening to like rock music, like ever since I was like in elementary, thanks to like Linkin Park, Avril Lavigne, Incubus. Um, and then there was like kind of a lull for some time. And then high school, I had classmates who were like super into emo bands, like Paramore, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy. Tapos, Fall Out Boy, di ba, there was Pete Wentz's emo phase, right? So he was
Oh
like the
my god,
first like
the
emo
side
guy that I
characters.
saw. And then I encountered like Helena, the music video, and that was the first time I saw like that type of like emo makeup that Jared Way like wore. Like cute talagang like eyeliner, like black jet black hair, pale face, and then just the music video was so nice. And then Jared Way's voice like just different from all like it's different from like Brendan Urie's Patrick Storms. Like he isn't like as vocally like yung vocal ano niya hindi the same as Patrick's. Patrick's voice is like on another level. Pero his voice is like still powerful kahit gano'n. And I don't know, like Helena's music video just like caught my eye instantly, and that's how I got introduced to My Chemical Romance, and the rest is history, like the Black Parade and whatnot. So
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Black Parade and My Chemical Romance, yeah, the My Chemical Romance will definitely appear a couple more times here because yeah, it's one of, it's I think uh it's arguably the artist of this
The,
episode's
the
this episode
generation.
and this decade, and yeah, we're gonna talk about it more. But yeah, we're going to our fourth pick. Yeah, this is the fifth. This is the fifth one on the list out of the 20, which is a lot. Still sounds like a lot. But yeah, next one is a Panic at the Disco song, and it's from their first album, and it's "Time to Dance." So,
Yes.
Karen, this is
So
your pick, and yes,
Nice. The
I'm
this
CD.
is
holding up
from
the CD.
a
Best
fever
song.
you can't sweat out.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Before that, I found the song I was talking about. It's called 2002 by Anna Marie. So there, if you check it out, it's all the 2000 references, and I felt so old after listening to it. Anyway, so Time to Dance. I know usually they get like other songs like you know, but it's better if you do I write sins, not tragedies. But Time to Dance, I think very interesting for me because it's based on a book. It's called Invisible Monsters, and every lyric there is based on a scene in that book. So actually, I discovered that book because of this because I was researching on the songs. Like, oh, I like the song. Like, I like to start it. Like, I love that intro. And I love the setting and how they built it in your mind. Like when they were singing it, like she's not bleeding on the ballroom floor just for the attention. See, I remember their lyrics. Like
Yeah.
this is like this really absurd, surreal, overly dramatic situation, and they're just singing it in a very matter of fact way. So that's why I love Time to Dance. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very boppy, but if you listen to like what it's really about, it's really disturbing. So yeah. So if you
Fun.
want to know the context of that song, it's Invisible Monsters by
Chuck
the guy
Palahniuk.
who wrote Fight Club, Chuck Palahniuk. So there you go. Some
Yeah,
info for
let's
you.
You'll
go.
find out why Brendan's singing "Shot Got the Wedding" in that song.
Right? Oh, and I just
No.
want to add what's interesting for me. I think that's why I really like the first album. Like, I'll never get sick of it because, like, imagine they wrote it when they were what in high school. They're in their teens, and then like think of all the topics they were talking about. Like, is it still me that makes you sweat? I'm like, dude, are you even experienced enough to sing about this? Like, it's really interesting. Like, it's like for me at the time, like it felt like very sophisticated lyrics. Like, oh my gosh, these guys are singing about all these topics. I feel like such an adult. There, so there. That's why I like that song.
Mm-mm.
Awesome. Yeah. So now, yeah, there are at least two Chuck Palahniuk readers here. Chuck Palahniuk readers here. So that's awesome. But yeah, Time to Dance. I think yeah, it's one of their best songs. There. My favorite song is the opener. Now I can't. Now I'm ashamed. I always can't remember the opening song of A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. That's
Introduction.
no,
So
no, no,
title.
not introduction. Second song. Sorry, the second song after
What is
introduction.
Oh,
the
the
second
really
song?
long
Isn't it
one. The
I
really
Write
long
Friends?
one. The only
Yeah,
difference.
that's why I can't
Lying
remember.
is the best thing
No,
No,
the
no,
only
a girl
difference
can
between
do.
martyrdom.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta
Haba.
read it because that's all I
Okay,
remember. Wait,
okay.
I have to read it. The
The
only difference
the
between
woman in the
martyrdom
house
and
across the street.
suicide is press coverage. That's the sit tight,
there.
right? Just swear, just shake it up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I like that because I think it's like it's the first song introduced the first song of her first album introduces you to what a band should sound like, or what a band what the vibe that
Yeah,
they
they're
wanna
like
show.
establishing the tone of their whole
Yeah,
album.
and then they establish that they're very pacey pop punk band, and yeah, it's Panic with with an exclamation point at the disco.
Yeah, I love how they had to. There was like a time where they took it out and then they brought it back in, like the slow
Yeah.
music. And I love the way they
It's
dressed. I think that really influenced also the way I dressed later on, and maybe my
oh yeah,
and
okay.
also I was
Yeah.
into cosplay. Well, I couldn't cosplay it because I didn't have the budget yet. But I was like, oh my gosh, I love the way he dresses. Like that was like my baby steps towards like full on
Yeah.
cosplaying. So I would just dress kind of like that. That's why I had these. I would be obsessed with like those blazers and like the top hats that he was wearing during this era. Like I was so obsessed. So there you go. Just a bit of background on my fashion, my fashion
Yeah,
evolution.
but
Also,
yeah,
what's funny
that's
is
uh-huh.
Brendan's
Yeah.
voice in A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is still conservative. Like compared to now. Like now he's just like hitting all the notes.
Wow.
I haven't listened to his recent ones. Like I'm really
Yeah.
stuck to like when he was still bandmates with Ryan because he left right and like
Yeah.
after like the second album I think, Pretty Odd.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
they
Because
got
so
cut.
after the
I
second
don't know how the
album,
sound is
it's
now.
yeah, now it's more pop. It's just like Brendan and Friends now.
Mm.
The
Basically,
Brendan
Panic at the
show.
Disco is the same level as like Smashing Pumpkins. Only one member, and it's their vocalist.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Pussycat Dolls as well.
Nicole
Who's
Uh,
and
the
Friends.
Nicole?
Nicole and friends. Oh my god.
it's them and their touring members. Let's go.
It's like, oh, do you have the instruments? All right, you're join my band now. Anyway.
I just want to add
Yeah.
maybe before we move on. I actually watched the concert. I believe it was in maybe 2008,
Mhm.
2010. I don't
Same. I know
remember, but
the
during that time. So it was very, very memorable to me that I got to watch them live. I think I was in college, I think, by then. And he was drinking, Brendan Urie was drinking San Miguel beer while he was singing. So he really liked our beer. So Pinoy pride. Good job,
Let's
Philippines.
go. The national beer of this country. It's
Yeah.
either that or Red Horse. But yeah, let's go. Next entry is my entry. So I have two local entries on the list because I think it would feel incomplete not to have them included. So first one is Seven Black Roses by Chico Sai. And Chico Sai is one of the quintessential local emo bands here. And I'll never forget the one. I think there was one TV broadcast of one of their performance in Paddy's Point. Yes,
Oh,
Paddy's
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 Point.
Point. Now
Point.
that's a throwback.
Oh,
I don't
throwback.
think even Gen
The
Zers
gig,
know this.
the
Yeah.
gig venue that turned into a franchise of gig venues.
Hmm.
So it was actually, and it was incredible. They actually did that, especially, which cements them as one of the go-to Inuan places of NU in most spots here in Manila.
Paddy's
But yeah,
Point, LRT.
um, yeah, I remember when Chico Sai was big because Chico Sai was big around the same time as like Panic at the Disco, followed by My Chemical Romance. I remember this being big in 2006.
Hmm.
yeah.
The Vampire Social Club, which unfortunately hasn't been on Spotify for a long time. I'm always annoyed. I always point out that fact that their Chico Sai's best album is not on Spotify, which is annoying. But yeah, Seven Black Roses is one of those. It's a quintessential emo song, and I remember hearing the slow version of it, which was so it was either they were kind of drunk, or they just wanted a slow and somber version that feels more painful than the original. But yeah, I don't know, I like this one. And one of the most random places I saw Chico Sai perform was ESGS, which was a gaming convention. I forgot which brand guested them as the band, but yeah, I was standing there and saying, "Oh wait, that's Chico Sai. Why are you?" Of all the things I'd see in a gaming convention, I would see Chico Sai next to the likes of a Nintendo Switch and Devil May Cry.
Yeah. I
Was
mean,
it?
they've been getting a lot of rock bands naman eh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ESGS
which is
like
actually
did
cool. So
that a
like
lot. Yeah.
it's a great way to hype up the event actually. Lots of musical guests, and there's no shortage of musical guests here, especially in big conventions. So yeah, Seven Black Roses is one of my picks, and one band. Well, I'm gonna mention one local band that I almost put here was Hilera, but yeah,
Ooh.
not as strong as I was gonna put "Defined" by Hilera, which is another emo song where it's one of those songs where you sit in a corner sad. You listen to it.
Actually,
No.
there are a lot of local bands that thrive during this era, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
A lot of
yeah,
Um.
ang dami.
It,
local
it
punk
it
pop
was the time.
type of
It was a
band.
time when it was a time when gigging became a thing again. Became a bigger thing again. That would last until much of the 2010s. Especially I
Yeah,
experienced
mid
it.
2010s. Yeah.
I play. I'll always miss B side in Route 196.
Oh,
I
Roots.
love
Yeah, I miss
performing
Roots.
there.
Oh, B-side.
Route 196 is the best gig place because it has the stage there, and there's an artist like sofa and table where you can
Yeah.
set up and where you can set up everything and drink stuff without messing it up on stage because sometimes in like Sagiho people put their
Yeah.
beer on top of the amps, which is always
Yeah,
risky.
that's true.
I don't want anyone going to the hospital during a mid performance because of spilled beer. But yeah, yeah, Chico Sai was like definitive of that era. And speaking of definitive of our era, this is straight out of second year high school, and it's Thunder by Boys Like Girls.
Oh my god.
Steven, this is your pick.
Oh
I'll just
god.
say that this is overplayed next to my
Yes!
heroin
Diba
by
yan?
Silver.
Yeah.
Next to my heroin by Silverstein. These two songs. There was a time it was grating to my ears. It was just
You
no.
lost the track of
It's the
my
only two
soul.
songs
Diba
that
yan?
people play on guitar, which is insane. But yeah, Steven,
All right, all right.
these are your
So
Yes,
choice
go
here.
ahead.
for those unaware, Boys Like Girls was one of those. I guess they, hindi sila one hit wonder, but
They're
like
not.
they're
I'm pretty
not.
sure
But
they had
they,
other
they
hits.
had like
Yeah.
a few,
They
but
had
like how many would you say, like Karen, Jackie? Like how many, like
Yeah,
Thunder,
like
greatest?
five.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I was
five.
gonna
Yeah,
say five, like maybe around that
Like they had a
yeah.
song with
number.
Taylor Swift.
Because I'm
Yes, they
not
had that one
super.
song like. Sorry, go ahead, Karen. Karen.
No, I was just gonna say I was not as into them, but I remember hearing them a lot on TV,
Yeah.
on like the music channels because we didn't have Spotify then, so we would see
Yeah.
all like
Yeah.
the new videos and all
Mix,
that.
MTV, and
Channel
yeah, Mix and
V.
Yeah,
Channel
and
Channel V
V.
are
YouTube
right.
was still relatively new during that time, so
Yeah,
it wasn't like
when I know when Anthony from Smosh had again the emo haircut of the 2000s.
When he was
where you have
still
to always
ironing
do
his
that,
hair.
where you always have.
Yeah,
I don't
I
have
go like
bangs
that
now,
all the
but
time,
like
like that. Anyway, so yeah, the
it's
singer of Boys Like Girls was the quintessential emo boy with the eyeliner and like the side parted hair, and he had this weird singing style. Would it be really low at first, and then he just goes like that, like towards
Yeah.
the chorus, and I think when they started performing live, you realize, oh wait, he can't do it live. But I don't know. I don't know if he can like go all out.
He
But like I
can.
don't know. Anyway, for Boys Like
and
Girls, they were a big band for a while. It's just that I think they weren't able to maintain their momentum. But this song is just so quintessentially 2000s because yun nga, of the style na you start low, it's like 2 days, one in, and then it just goes,
That
like,
chorus
he's sky,
talaga. That's all
diba?
I
Like when you
remember
get to the
about
chorus,
Screamo.
yeah, exactly. Yung parang, oh, okay, it's a good song, and then like later on you realize, oh man, that's hard to sing. But I can't
Yeah.
imagine like being the singer having to like do that every night. Kung go back to back nights ka doing this song. Di ba? Ang hirap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
were asking the other songs. So Ika and Tim just
Yeah, I
mentioned
looked
Love
to
Drunk
it. Yeah, they're not one hit.
and
They had like
Great Escape. I remember. I like
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that.
had
Great
Great
a
Escape.
Escape.
they had a 3 year period where they were at their it was like a peak period. They had Taylor
Yeah.
Swift in one of their songs, Two is Better
Yeah.
Than
I
One.
think that was the
And
time that Taylor Swift was like becoming really big na talaga eh, diba? Like she was
Yeah,
yeah,
big na eh.
she still had
She was
curly
still
hair.
kind of crunch.
Oh
Yeah,
my
she was
gosh,
still kind of
yes!
country. Yeah.
Taylor
Curly
Swift was
hair
still
Taylor Swift.
Taylor
She still
Swift
had
Taylor Swift was still considered country by this time. So yeah.
Mm.
Yes, exactly. And then like this was her like
The Chloe
crossover, diba?
disses.
Like
And
from
it
country
was
to
her
pop
sweeping
slowly.
country music awards just because of how popular her
Her
songs.
Yes.
dating Joe Jonas. It was this
yeah,
year.
Oh yeah,
another
this was
emo boy.
Gosh, yeah.
there was Thunder, Great Escape, Love Drunk, and Hero Heroine. Yeah, this
Hero
they were
Heroine.
on
Ah,
Yeah,
their
yeah. They
they
had they
were
had they
on
Hero
had
a
they had a pretty
Heroine.
good
That's the
run,
first
yeah.
one I remember liking from.
they were on a mission at the
Yeah.
They
during that
were.
time. So it was fine. It was a
They were really good live though. I watched them in Glorieta before.
Nice, nice, nice.
Talaga?
But yeah,
How,
Yeah.
God, Ayaga Mall's tours
I
were
didn't know
something
they
else
went
because yeah, they
here. Yeah.
Oh
introduced a
my
lot
god,
of
yeah. They had Good Charlotte one time, diba? Sa Alabang.
yeah.
Or
My
something.
I saw Cobra
goodness.
Starship in
Oh.
Alabang Town Center. So that
Yeah,
was
Cobra
Oh
I
Starship.
man.
can't believe now you look back. Now you can't believe that you saw them in an Ayaga Mall.
Yeah. I
Can you
saw them from
And
the
believe
second
like
floor of Glorieta.
then I also saw the cab in Alabang Town Center
Oh
too.
man, the
yung
cab was
maikisilip
like,
ka lang from the second floor, Jackie?
Yup.
Yeah, like
I
diba? Like,
used to do
man,
it.
those
come to think of
times.
it, yeah, there were
I mean,
Ayaga Mall's tours were actually really great because yeah, it introduces you to music
Yeah.
very conveniently. It's like a mini gig except it's in a mall
Yeah.
and
And
no beer.
I think the only sad part is that Boys and Girls was supposed to come to Manila. My sister had tickets ready and then the pandemic happened. So she
Oh
had
oh
to
well,
get a
it's
yeah,
refund.
there's no
Oh,
Diba? Yung mga March
active.
2020, they were supposed to come here sa Kia Theater, now
yeah.
the New
yeah.
Frontier
And
Theater.
Mm-mm.
I think Green Day was also one of those bands
Yes!
Yeah,
who
they were supposed
arrived.
to go here.
Avril
Oh
din.
gosh.
Yeah, there were so many, but yeah,
I wanna
it's
watch
a
Avril.
it's an
Yeah,
it's
Avril was supposed to come here too.
Yeah, Avril
Oh
din.
my
Avril.
gosh.
yeah. So I think the
Dami.
best solution to that is have them come back here in as a group as like bunch them up together.
When we were
Bring back the
young,
Warp
ano,
Vans Warp
2.0.
Tour
Nung
Or
Manila.
bata pa siya. Nung
if
bata. Yeah.
Nung
Wonderland will
bata pa.
if Wonderland will slightly struggle to get people in, yeah, let's just get these 2000s guys and
Yeah.
have
Make
them in
everyone
festival
feel
ground, have
old.
them in
Yeah, make
festival mall, diba?
Let's get Ovation Productions on it. I mean, they brought
Yeah,
Backstreet Boys here
Ovation.
anyway.
Ovation
Yeah,
Ovation is
Production
with
always
presents.
there.
their ability to have like a super event for emo kids who are all grown up.
It's
So,
like they call a band and hi, we have a Araneta Coliseum free for you.
si mga sponsored by
Then,
Salon Pass, Katingko, ganon.
oh yeah, that's very fitting for what we
Oh my
need.
god.
Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, it's gonna be a huge adjustment once we get to
Kita-kita na
watch
lang
guys.
tayo.
Like Wonderland, there are times that I would just like afternoon, I would spend the rest of afternoon just sitting on the grass with a bunch of with everyone sitting on the grass drinking beer and some random group of Australians flinging a flag of Australia because an Australian band is performing.
Ah, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Aw.
lots of Australian artists go here for local events. It's really
Mm.
fun. They're really cool. Like Glass Dinosaurs being one example. But yeah, next pick is a Fall Out Boy song. Is this the first Fall Out Boy song we have? Yeah, it is.
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
next song is the opener for Infinity on High, which is the background of this episode. And um I'll always say, like, in terms of Fallout Boy albums, if there was one album that's like close to perfect from start to finish, it's Infinity on High.
Yep.
Second is like
Yes.
Mother the Courtly. But Infinity on High kasi like there's no song I would drop.
Walang
There's no song
tapon.
I would drop. Like I wouldn't skip it. Their opening and closers fit well. Thriller is like, Thriller is an opener that, feels anthemic. And yeah. But yeah, Jackie, this is your pick, and
Yeah.
why yeah.
So Fall Out Boy, my well, the first song I heard from them is Sugar We're Going Down, obviously. But the first album I listened to like front to back was Infinity on High. And yeah, Thriller just like stood out to me because I don't know, parang I think that's the first like opening song na talagang it deserves the opening song spot. Alam mo
Yeah.
yun? Tapos may intro pa sila with by Jay-Z. But yeah, like Infinity on the High is just a really good album. Thriller, I can listen to it like a lot. Because I love how smoothly it transitions to the breaks over the take. Ah,
Take
the
over the
takeover.
breaks over.
Yeah, the takeover, the
Take
breaks
yeah.
over. Yeah, so yeah. Also, a fun fact, like in 2000, what year was that? 2000.
2007.
When did they go here for Save Rock and Roll?
I think
2013?
2013.
2012,
2013.
2013. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
around that
I
time.
Yeah,
believe it
around
was
that time.
2013. Yeah.
Yeah, 2013. So I
I
didn't
watched it.
go. Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, but they had a meet and greet in Trinoma, and I was there.
Mm.
So
Oh
Nice,
my
I
nice.
have a
goodness.
I
I
have
want to
a
meet
signed
Patrick.
I have a signed. Oh God, Patrick was so adorable. So I have a signed like
So
album,
cute.
and what's funny is so the arrangement was like who's who's the Pete, Joe, Andy, and then Patrick's the last one.
Aww.
So it was like Pete was the first one, and then I asked him if I could hug him, and he was like, "Oh, sure, sure." But after that, like their bodyguard, like who is like a big black guy who can like
Uh-huh.
carry you if he wants to, they
Was
got
was he
mad
like
because got mad because he apparently like it wasn't like you weren't allowed to hug
allowed?
the members, but
Oh
Pete was
shit.
like Pete was like, "Oh, sure."
Very
You
punk.
know what? You're I mean, it's a one like you shoot your
Yeah,
shot. It's a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
thing. So
yeah, and
I
then
support
and
you hugging him.
yeah, and then it was like they were rushing everyone because there were like so many people like getting their album
Yeah,
signed.
I bet
So
it's a
like
long
Oh.
day.
yeah, so like I wasn't able to talk to Joe, to Andy. Andy was still talking to me, and then the line was already moving, and then
Oh,
Patrick was the last one, and then I think Patrick saw how like shocked I was that I was like pushed to like the
yeah,
end of
yeah.
the, and then I wasn't talking to, and then Patrick was like, "Hi," I was like, "Hi."
So yeah.
I'm not
Hi.
killing for you. I'm so
And the
excited.
only thing I said was like, "You're so adorable." I was like, the first thing I
Parang nag-ano ka na
Yes.
blue screen, you're like, okay,
said.
let's
But yeah, it was a fun day. Sad that I wasn't able to go.
Yeah.
you got to meet them. I think that's better. I
Yeah,
think it's
that
so
still
much
counts.
That's
better.
true.
Yeah, you may not have heard them live, but no, you technically heard their voices live.
Oh,
In a
yun,
different
di ba?
way.
Totoo.
In a different way. But yeah, and speaking of Fallout Boy, this is another apart from My Chemical Romance. Yeah, this list is dominated by Fallout Boy for the most part. But yeah, looking at the comments, yeah, Folie Adu was also great.
Yeah, I was
It's also
gonna
a
say
great
the
album.
Yeah.
follow-up
And
was pretty
Yeah.
great. As in, walang tapon for me, both
but
those
yeah, I
albums.
would say Folie Adu was also like the end of an era for them. The end of their like
Yes.
pop punk teen
Mm-mm.
years na, and then now I mean this, you know
I like Save
so
Rock and Roll
here in
though.
my house,
Yeah.
Yeah,
our
same
house
rock and
is
roll too.
our house likes Fallout Boy talaga. We enjoy Fallout Boy.
Gusto
But
ko yung
yeah,
our house. Like, it sounds like
yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking about like a
it's a
Game of Thrones family. Like, our house
yeah,
supports
House
Fallout Boy.
fob.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's one of the bands that we all like here, so like it's fun. And
Mm.
also my artist of the decade on Spotify when it had that feature on rap. Like when I was checking it, like it was. I wonder, would it be no? I was thinking it was Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then all of a sudden I hear Dance Dance. Like, oh, okay,
Oh, that's
this
nice.
is. But yeah, oh yeah, one Fall Out Boy song that I wish I could have added here was Sophomore's Upper Comeback of the Year. That was my that's like my generation defining song for there. But yeah, next one is Karen's pick. It's Just Let Go by May.
Yes. Okay. Initially, very vain. I was like, hey, this band has my name on it. It's the same spelling. Because that was the time like you could just research. This was the LimeWire era. You could
Oh
just
my
kind
god,
of
LimeWire.
Oh my God,
research.
never.
LimeWire era,
I
yes.
mean, and everyone used LimeWire or some
As-
sort of offshoot of
May
it.
or may
So
not have.
may or may not have
Frostwire.
used. So I remember just seeing like coming across it because I would check like similar bands under the genre just to expand my playlist, my iPod playlist. So I found May and I just really like this song because uh most of the emo songs are like all screaming and like hyping up, and this is just a very chill song, very romantic about not to be confused with Let It Go. Just Let Go is just, letting go of your hesitation and just, you know, get into that relationship and fall in love. Like, it's so sweet. Like, for an emo song. So I really liked it. I checked. I was like, I know they're under pop punk or something like that. So I think the more popular song from them is Everglow. But yeah, Just Let Go is like one of the sweeter like love songs that I really like. So that's why I'm into it. But also, it's part of my name. Same spelling.
Best
So did
reason
you
to add.
guys did you guys listen to me?
Um, I can't remember. It might have an.
Might
I
be
think I know a
Everglow.
few
Yun yung
people
sikat
who
na
did.
lyric. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know a few people who did. But yeah, it's one of those in the CD burners list.
Oh
Ayun, CD
man.
burn eh. It's good you brought that up. Like, that was like the norm then. Like, you'd have a friend who would burn it for you. Uy, pa-burn. But may
Yes.
or may not, for legal
May
Totally.
or
reasons,
may
may
not.
or may not have burned
That's
a
it.
whole album for you or like a playlist. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my.
the Gen X people had like the mixtapes. We had our burnt CDs
That's
with like
Yeah,
we
for
had that
sometimes
one
it's
the
friend.
printed, right? I don't know about you guys, but you had like a customized print. Tapos yung album
mhm.
cover.
Yeah, there was a time. I remember it was there was always that one person who would like take one for the team and then hey I can burn CDs for you guys and then we'll we I think I remember I think we pay our friend like just
Magkano
for
yun?
CD
Mga
burning so like it's a
100
lucrative
or
business.
50? Oo.
Mga 100, oo, mga
Oh, mga
gano'n.
100. It was also the time where you bought VCDs na burnt,
Mhm.
Oh my god.
right? So
Mm.
like you buy it from, and it was the DVD era.
Sa
Sa mga
Green
bangketa.
Hills. Tumas mo na to. Yung sa
Yeah,
ano,
Correct.
yung mga ganun.
it was that era of R pirates.
Yung,
R.
yung
R.
CDR, yung, tapos, yeah, it was like sailing the seven seas of piracy then. With like the CDs, diba na very generic. Tapos may parang nakascribble lang hastily ng
Oo,
pangalan.
totoo
Like,
Yeah,
yun.
you
episodes
know
1 to 5 of
Of ganito.
yun,
Yeah,
of
you know
Sailor
they
ganito,
Moon.
said
ganyan.
they said the golden age of piracy ended in a few centuries ago. No, it was back like a decade ago. Well, it was back for a while. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, but yeah, yeah, that's like peak peak pop punkness there in the 2000s. And next one is my pick, another local pick. So this is my second one, and this is "Will You Ever Learn" by Typecast.
Oh,
And yeah,
typecast.
this is I would put this on the top. Like if there's like one emo song that people should listen to, like in like outside of the Philippines, yeah, this is like this is how we did emo, and it was sad, you know. Imagine your the first line is like a question. So what's the point? They're just going through a crisis, and then yeah. But yeah, typecast was I remember people calling typecast was like underground Filipino underground's like best kept secret at that point. Like they were one of the bands that were like really big during the gig scenes, and
Mm-mm.
yeah, when they finally were in mix, when you're in mix, you can say that you've made it locally when you're in mix.
R.I.P.
Like,
Mix, man. R.I.P. Mix.
when you're in a mix top 10,
Mixed
you have at
channel.
least fulfilled something, and then the next step is like being Pulp Magazine, diba?
Oy, Pulp Magazine!
Being Pulp
Very
Magazine,
nostalgic.
being Pulp
I used to
Magazine,
live near
K
Pulp
Zone,
Magazine.
or any of the Summit publications. Yeah, so yeah.
Represent.
Speaking
Shout
of
out.
Summit,
Yeah, speaking of some. Yeah. But yeah, no, Will You Ever Learn was like it was the entry point for most people for type to listen to typecast. But I remember they had a couple of songs.
Boston
Boston
Drama.
Drama was one na
Yeah, I
I
remember
always
listening
hear.
to Typecast also. Eh. Basta that was the time, tuloy-tuloy na yan eh, diba? Like all the similar genres.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was that it was that time, and they were a new rock awards contender for for most part of their peak. That's another 2000s thing that's gone
Oh
now.
my god.
New rock. So
New
yeah,
Rock.
and then yeah, that's but yeah, Typecast was such a big band, and yeah, that was one of that was one of the staples talaga. And I remember like there were a couple of high school battle of the bands that I've been into. There's always at least one band performing
One,
typecast. If it's not
oo nga.
typecast, it's one
Ah,
for some
that's true.
reason.
Nakakamiss yan na yung
Okon.
mga high school, tas may high school fair, tas may mga bands. Like, that's how
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember these kinds of bands. Or,
True.
di ba?
Yeah, speaking of Hilera,
Sa
I remember
school.
seeing them in San Beda when I was in high school. There were times na San Beda would just invite at least one band for like a high school dance, and then I remember
High school
seeing
dance.
or yeah, it wasn't like a high school dance the formal. It was like a high school party sanctioned by the school. And then there was at least one major artist. I remember it was no, there was the time that it was Pupil, there was a time that it was Urban Dub. So like
Yeah,
they
it's
had
so
they just
interesting how
picked one.
all these Catholic schools
True.
holding
All
these
these
concerts with these bands.
We
all these
had Chico
Catholic
Sai. We had Chico Sai
uh,
before, and it was like the Vampire Social Club era. Pero how
see.
I think we
Catholic is
did
that,
rin,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but
Puki,
How
yeah, it
puki
Catholic.
was
sila ata
yeah,
ng high school fair.
it's funny no na a good part of our high school Catholic school tuition fee goes to music
To
of our
the poor.
generation then. So
That's true.
let us thank our tuition fees for slightly funding our
True.
music tastes. But yeah, really cool. Next entry is Steven's entry, another newfound this is a Newfound Glory song,
First
and it's
song. First.
um, My Friends Over You. So
yeah.
Steven, you're on this
So
one.
this okay, Newfound Glory is not that big here locally. Pero I think they had some kind of following naman. I only became familiar with Newfound Glory because of my sister's CD. I do have the Sticks and Stones CD somewhere lying around. I have to find it first. But this was just a very, very like energetic pop punk song. There's like I don't know how to describe it. It's about a person getting over a breakup, and then kaya nga My Friends Over You, yung title. And then if you listen to the song on Spotify right now, it's pretty much how you would introduce a Gen Z kid to pop punk. Like Newfound Glory's My Friends Over You would be a great starter pack, along with Blink 182 and ano pa ba, Sum 41 among others.
Yellow card.
Yes, Yellow Card.
I
Yeah,
was
isa
supposed to
pa.
put that
Like
in
if you
my
were
list.
creating a starter kit, you have to
Ocean
have this song.
Avenue. Supposed to be on
Yes,
my list.
exactly. Ang dami. So, um, super, super random trivia regarding Newfound Glory. Their rhythm guitarist is the ex of Haley Williams from
I was
Paramore.
gonna say Chad
No, they're
Gilbert. Ika
vocalists.
just said
Their
it. I was gonna say
vocalist?
They're
No.
vocalists ba? Ah, no, yeah, they're
Tama
guitarists
ba?
pala.
Chad Gilbert. Yeah, I remember. Didn't he cheat on Haley or something? Ika,
Yeah, he
please
did.
confirm.
Shit, dude, really?
That's why I'm. That's why I was like, I remember. I was like, why am I iffy about Newfound Glory? Oh,
No,
really?
Yeah.
it's a huge issue because ang
Yeah.
nangyari, lol, Chika.
Yes,
Back to
Okay, okay.
Chika.
Chika me, Jackie. Let's
The
go.
what happened was kasi 'di ba Hailey was dating Josh Farrow.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
And
when
then,
her and Chad started dating, parang Hailey cheated on Josh.
see.
Chad cheated on his girlfriend at the time for Hailey. And then they got married, and then Chad cheated on Hailey.
Shit.
Yeah, and Hailey sings about it, but Hailey has a solo project, yung Petals for Armor.
Yes. Yeah.
She has one song. I forgot the title, Dead Horse yata. There's a line there na parang I forgot the exact. Basta yung pinaka essence niya is like I had it coming because uh I had it coming because I was the one you cheated with first, something like that.
Oh,
So basically,
damn.
ganun, yeah. So it's
My
not a
goodness.
secret.
All the emo chismis, and then you would see it on Live Journal or
Oh
Tumblr.
my
So
god.
that's where you would see all the news because we didn't like Facebook is relatively
Oh
new
my God,
once
Live
again.
Journal.
So
Wala pang Tumblr
right?
nun eh.
Oh,
I mean, if we
Tumblr,
had,
Tumblr ba? Like, I think it was pretty new by then. I think there's
Okay.
Tumblr already.
yeah, Tumblr
Live
was
Journal.
like rising up, diba?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. As a fandom old, I can confirm. I feel like I'm the oldest here. So, like, I remember Live Journal. That's where I got all my news for like emo bands. And then, yun, nandun yung mga chismis na sinasabi ni Jackie. Like, pag sa mga
Nice.
fan groups, sasabihin nila yan. So, nagko-comment na yung mga tao. Yun.
Mm.
So, yeah. Ika, let us know in the comments if you know the whole story. I'm sure you do. Because you're the biggest Paramore fan.
Nice, nice. All right,
But yeah,
let's move on.
speaking of like uh ano yung artist, pop punk artist beef. Yeah, there's a lot. That's worth an
it's a
episode.
lot.
Daming drama
I
eh.
can't remember if it was Newfound Glory or another band
Ayun.
or Taking Back Sunday that has a beef with another band. Like
Yeah.
they had a
They
long
don't always
established
fight.
rivalry with that, and it's like it's a nasty one. But yeah, that's another topic for another time. But yeah, next up is Red Jumpsuit Apparatus song. And it's Face
Oh.
Down. Yeah, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus is
Oh,
So
another.
very nostalgic.
There was a year na they dominated. But yeah, Face Down was one of their best. So yeah, Jackie, this is your pick.
Yeah, so isa pa yan. Like, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, like, one of the first emo bands I listened to in like first year. I mean, yan, magkakasama yan, like Paramore, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. And yeah, I think Face Down is the first emo song that I appreciated na may screamo. Because when I was younger, like I could not handle like screamo. Like I couldn't listen to Alisana when I was in high school. Because and then Red Jumpsuit Apparatus is the first, and then Face Down. And the lyrics are just sad. This, diba parang yung music video niya is just like there was like domestic violence or something.
Yeah, that was a really like the lyrics were really like damn.
Yeah. But like the whole like Don't You Fake It album is like just somber. Lalo na yung this is another like option if it like Cat and Mouse by Regiment Apparatus. Like I remember there's this meme of like a kid crying in the rain, like a kid that's like 10 years old, and then like when you're 10 years old and you're listening to Cat and Mouse when you don't have any experience at all. Like yung mga tipong nakinig ka
Oo
ng
nga
Cat
eh.
and Mouse kasi hindi ka crush ng crush mo, gano'n.
Mayroon na naman pinagdaanan in your childhood. Gano'n.
Yeah, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, I actually saw them live then for the first time sa Glorieta
Oh,
from the second
nice.
floor.
Was it this was ano diba? Was this around the same time na nag-tour sila with like there like this one music festival of some kind?
Bazooka Rocks. No, no, no.
No, that was
Ito
different.
this was the first, their first concert, the solo. back in
Nice.
2008, 9.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, but when they did Bazooka Rocks, I think they were like gearing towards a Christian rock na at that time.
Oh, that was also popular
Oh,
in the 2000s. Ah.
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh my
Switchfoot.
god, Christian rock was was another level in this
Want to do an
country.
episode on that?
Hello, my friend, we meet again. Yun na yun?
Once
But
Where,
yeah,
again, joke
ah,
lang.
I think Christian rock.
Vertical Horizon, Switchfoot.
Vertical
Christian
Anyway.
rock's me when you always
yeah, but
be
yeah.
Creed.
down with me.
Oh my god, yeah. There was. I remember like seeing tons and tons of CDs on that. I think that's why sumikat yung OMF literature. Eh. Anyway, but yeah, that's another world in of itself. That's
Yeah.
another never mind. But yeah, before we move on, I think we have let's we can do a little like I don't know mention of some artists that we weren't able to include like
Oh, thank you.
Like
It's a lot.
Yellow Card, Yellow Card which had Ocean Avenue and once I think I remember watching a video essay about where Ocean Avenue was included like the video essay was entitled "Why Do Pop Punks Hate Their Hometown?" Kasi Ocean Avenue was about moving to somewhere else.
Yeah, people
Great
always
Escape by Boys
ranting.
Like Girls is in a similar vein. And
Yeah, The Great
one of
Escape.
the songs Jackie introduced to me, which is "A Day to Remember," is all signs point to Lauderdale, which the first line in the song
Oh,
is "I hate this town."
It's like, let's
So
get
yun.
out of here. Can you link
yeah.
that
Yeah,
YouTube?
I like that it's a genre defining lyric because a lot of bands have that state of just not wanting to go elsewhere. I mean, I think the guy who explained it said that it's like an extension of like the American dream of some sort since most of the
Mm-hmm.
bands are from the states. And
Yeah.
then um British pop punk, even British pop punk, which I think we weren't able to listen to that much. There
Yeah,
wasn't
not
many
too much.
because
I was
at
into
that time
Franz Ferdinand that
British pop
time,
punk
that era.
kind of lost over the likes of Arctic Monkeys, Block Party, who were moving over here back in the 2000s naman, in the late
Mm.
2000s. But yeah, pop punks, yeah, it's one of those. So yeah, that's why we have to mention Yellow Card and Dashboard Confessional.
Oh
I was
my
gonna,
gosh,
I was gonna
Vindicated.
put Vindicated because
Yeah,
that's like the best
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man song.
It is. It is the best
Like when they
Spider-Man
ask me
song.
what theme, do you mean Vindicated? That's the Spider-Man theme song.
Vindicated is a Spider-Man
Vindicated.
song. So.
Like I feel like everyone from that era just knows that chorus.
Yeah, that's so
Vindicated.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many. Yeah, really cool. But yeah, those are some of the artists that we weren't able to mention, and there's also the
All
likes of
American Rejects.
Alessana,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Augustana,
Oh my gosh,
All American
Augustana.
Rejects. All
Augustana,
yeah, I was
All
American.
supposed to
American
put All
Rejects,
Yes.
American.
which I finally rediscovered, or Gern Gang, thanks to Jackie, that It Ends Tonight is not a breakup song. It's just about a guitar tech in their crew that they hate so much.
Ah.
Oh
So
my
it's
god.
basically "Okay Boomer," the song. Because
Wait,
they just
It
hated the guy
tonight.
for
sino pa
being
ba?
such a old-fashioned straight-laced guy, and
Yeah.
and then when I read the lyrics, yeah, I kind of chuckled a bit because
I
they
think we
made a
missed
whole
We the
song about
Kings.
hating their guitar tech.
Yeah.
We the Kings.
We the Kings.
Sometimes guitar
Jack
techs are
yes,
the guys who
Jenny.
make the riffs for some bands. They made
Mm.
this time they made the song, so guitar techs are a different level. So yeah, um,
Dami. There's so many we missed on, but
yeah.
Yeah,
Next
that
is
yeah.
huh?
we're down to our
Yes.
last few, but yeah, next is a Fall Out Boy song, another Infinity on High song. Bang the Doll Drums, which is like
That's
one of their
me.
best anthems in the album, I would say. I think it's their top anthem in that song, but Infinity on High is an anthem fest already, so yeah. But yeah, Karen, this is your pick.
Yeah, so Bang the Doll Drums. I think it's my second because I would I think that was I would play that on repeat even up to now. So Spotify would like show me like the recap, like, oh, you keep playing this song. May pinagdadaanan ka ba? Because the lyrics are like, best friends, ex-friends till the end, better off as lovers, not the other way around. I just love that line. Whether may pinagdadaanan ako or not, I think I'm just really I love all the mga breakup songs from the emo genre. I mean that's why it's there. It's there to help you express those feelings, those negative feelings. Maybe if you're fighting with your you have family problems, school problems, like it's very relatable for people in our age range during that time. So I really had a hard time choosing my favorite Fallout Boy song because Infinite, as you said, Infinity on High is the best. It's my favorite album from them. So I had such a hard time. I wanted take over the breaks over. I wanted that. I wanted like lawyer that lawyer song. Or like lawyers the long
Me and you. They
title.
had a
Oo.
shortened version of the on the end of the
But I
title.
love that. I'm like a lawyer with the way I blah blah blah. So okay, I wanted to
Mm.
mention like some of the bands that I wasn't able to include. So one of them was Seoshan. Seven
Oh yeah.
years. It's so emo. I like
Mm.
when someone asks me what is the most emo song you've ever heard, I would say 7 years. Like, taking on 7 years, like only push away. Like it's so emo. And the other super emo song I know is by Hawthorne Heights, Ohio is for Lovers, where they have lyrics such as "Cut my wrists and black my eyes."
Oh my
Like
gosh.
no joke. And I think that's the one that's a bit troubling. Like looking back as an adult, like there was so many references to trigger warning, suicide, and like self harm.
Mhm.
Like at some point, it's a bit glorifying. So I'm glad that maybe we're looking at it from the lens of um, it's a real problem that you have to address. Proper therapy and mental health as well. So there you go. I think those are the things I remember. Like when I was young, I didn't really like take it that seriously, like all those lyrics. So and like all the jokes about self harm. So there you go. So something to think about as an adult. Oh, and I also had Yellow Card. I watched them in concert. I remember they also had like a signing, so I got to meet them. I have no idea who stole my poster. I'm still salty. I have a signed poster, my Yellow Card. I don't know where the heck it is, but at least I have my photos with them, so I have one that I'm interacting with them. So it was worth it. Yeah. So Bang the Doll Drums. Does anyone else like that song? And what's your favorite like breakup emo song? Because that's my ultimate. Like it's the ultimate breakup song for me. Because it's not really a breakup song because they're not really together. Because they're saying like not the other way around, like best friends, ex friends till the end. So
Fall Out Boy
there.
had so many. Fall Out Boy
Yeah,
had
but
so
that's
many
my
like
favorite.
breakup or relationship related songs. Grand Theft
Am
Auto,
I more than you bargained?
Sugar We're Going Down,
Yeah, having
or in
another
Tagalog
notch.
Sinta Pababa na. Joke. But yeah, yeah, Fall Out Boy was one of the yeah, Infinity and High is just hit after hit. I remember the reason that this album stuck because it was summer after grade 6, like
Mm.
for summer in between grade school to high school, and 2 months that was the only album we had na we were playing on repeat. And then if not on repeat, MTV had it going, and every now and then they'd show a live a live performance of Fall Out Boy. So that's interesting. But yeah, next one is my second favorite pick. It's Famous Last Words by My Chemical
Ah.
Romance. And
Oh my gosh.
I like this
Uh,
over Welcome to the Black Parade because
mhm.
I just like how hard this song like is heavier than Welcome to the Black Parade. And I just like how the music video is like what happened after it was feels like an
Yeah.
aftermath of the Black Parade where
Yeah.
everything burned down and they're just brooding at this point. And yeah, this had everything. It had it had great guitar work, which I loved about the song. Like few pop punk and emo songs are I have distinct memories of like
Oh,
the
nice.
guitars. If we're talking about like good guitar work pala, from Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy is like they're like it's so hard to cover any Fall Out Boy song in that album because it's so pop punk songs are kind of tricky minsan to cover because there were pop punk songs where like they were like consuming sugar when they were doing it probably kasi they
Yeah,
were
they're going
all
down.
over the place,
Sugar, we're
diba?
going down.
Ayun. But yeah, Famous Last Words was one of the best one, and it had one of the few things that most pop punk songs don't have: a really cool guitar solo from Ray Toro, and that's one thing. That's one of the few. That's one of the many advantages that My Chemical Romance has over other pop punk bands.
They
They
have
have a
Ray
really
Toro.
really crazy good guitarist, and you know. But yeah, it was cool. Famous Last Words is my favorite Black Parade song. And yeah, My Chemical Romance was on such a roll. And I think
Jude,
next one song that I haven't mentioned na My Chem rin is Ghost of You. That's another one na
Heavy and the
you
pain.
forgot something about famous last words, Jude.
Which one? The
The bridge.
yeah, the bridge. Oh
feeling.
yeah,
That
okay, yeah,
one?
Oh,
Lying
it
yeah.
next
had
to
the
me.
best bridge like
Was that
uh ever.
the
Sorry, everyone, anyone listening who would say that there are bridges that are better. No, this there's only one.
I
So
love the
yeah,
overlapping when it
and
picks
it's
up.
not
Mm-mm.
the London Bridge. This is the best bridge built by
Oh
anyone.
my god.
So yeah.
Or Tita joke.
So yes, famous last words though. Yeah, it's one of the best My Chemical
Such
Romance
a great
song.
ender for the album, no?
It is.
Yeah, and we're not, and yeah, well, we're not done with My Chemical Romance as well. So yeah, that's one thing. And with
We've
that,
only just begun.
but yeah, My Chemical. What? Okay, if we're talking about rin pala, like since pop punk had like a lot of lyrics regards to like self harm and a lot of trigger warnings on their lyrics.
Yeah.
But why one thing I like about a lot of the pop punk bands and emo bands, like a lot of them really grew up. We saw them grow up when
Yeah, we
like
saw
Yeah.
the evolution.
yeah, they evolved their sound and this their sound and it's like yeah, they really cared about they really cared about their fans are always there. Like, it's a really cool thing. And right now Fall Out Boy is kind of dad rock at this point. Diba?
Yeah.
They're dads
Yeah.
now. They're pretty
Tito,
chill on their music.
Tito Rock na sila.
Tita Rock na.
Oh my gosh.
They're in the
Oo.
Tito Rock phase na, and it's
Malapit na
still
umabot sa RJ.
but it's really cool, diba? It's still really cool. Oh my god, yeah, that's gonna be
Sabi kasi
we're gonna be the
Ovation
generation.
Productions na sunod eh.
No.
Yeah,
The
yun.
Fallout
Oh
Boy
my
band
God.
na sila.
Oh
Fallout
no.
Boy.
The
Steve
Fallout Boy
O'Neill
band.
Productions.
Oh no.
Fallout Man. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
The Fallout band. But yeah, really cool. Speaking of another pop punk band that has grown a lot for over the years. It's our next pick is Misery Business by Paramore
Ayun na,
from
Ika.
Riot. So yeah, Paramore.
Oh, oh man. So this was the first. Okay, the context for me is that this was the first Paramore song I ever heard, and I'm sure for a lot of us, this was the first one. Um,
Yeah, AKA it's the No Sir. No Sir title.
The
No
No
Sir.
Sir album,
That's what you
yes.
get. Yeah.
Oo.
yeah,
No
that's what you get,
Sir.
diba? And then Misery Business was okay, for a lot of people it's problematic now, but let's face it, at the time, I guess Hayley Williams's emotions were just high,
Mm-mm.
and she was not, she was just. Well, I'm just checking the wiki right now. I don't know how true this is, but she said in the Vulture interview that She was 13 or 14 and had a crush on Josh Farrow, and he didn't like me back. He would go hang out with his girlfriend, who I wrote misery business about because I was a dick. So maybe their most success, their big debut song was just a pissed off Hayley Williams at the time. But man, it was just such a catchy chorus. Maybe now for today's standards, it's now it's problematic. Okay, let's put it to rest. It's a problematic lyric. Has problematic lyrics, but again, it was just a product of its time. Um, I don't know how to describe it.
I think everyone was, all the pop punk bands were quite emotional. Yun nga, like, di ba, I was
But yeah,
mentioning the
Yeah,
one
it
you're
was just very
explaining
emotionally
na about
charged.
but
And
yeah,
cutting
yeah,
your wrist
Riot
in a,
is one of their like Riot is the one that put them like on the map
yeah.
for
yeah,
mainstream attention, got them the mainstream attention, and yeah, well, looking at their songs, that's what you get. Was there Crush, Crush, Crush was there,
yeah. There was a
Oh,
lot
that's
of
and
what
angry songs.
sabi ni Ika San, she got mad because I said, no sir daw, misery business. No, sabi niya, no, it's that's what you get. Sorry,
there's
Ika.
Mm.
also
I just
there's
wanted to
also
troll
When It
you.
Rains. So yeah, that's
Oh
another
yeah, and
sad.
dami. That like actually okay, so I bought Misery Business in high school. Fourth year high school na kami at the time.
Hindi was college na nun eh. Because
Yeah,
she's
so like
around
spare
my batch.
allowance with the spare allowance I had, I bought Misery
Mm.
Business in I think it was either in Music One, not Misery Business. I bought Riot either in Music One in National Bookstore Quezon Avenue when they still had the music shop inside, or Astrovision Green Hills. Kasi sa Vira Mall. I think this is a really super nostalgic pick just because I have the CD with me and I still do listen to it once in a while. And the music the album still stands for me. Like the album
Mhm.
still you can listen to it on repeat. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the album as a whole.
I don't
But
think
yeah,
any
this was a
of the pop
nostalgic
punk,
pick.
I don't think any of the pop punk albums we listen to, have really faded. So that's one.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Fall Out Boy had the straight crazy run of four great albums. No one, people forget that they had the first album before
Yeah.
From Under the Cortina, where it
Yeah,
was so raw and just the most angsty of all the Fall Out Boy songs.
the blue tinted photo,
Yeah.
tama ba?
Previous to Your
Mm.
Grave was the first album. They
Yeah,
had
this
Uh,
is your great.
they had Grenade Jumper Saturday. It was really cool. Dead on Arrival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
mm,
I like from that album.
But yeah,
So
Paramore was one of the best
yeah, I
bands of
miss
that time.
record stores. Like Ika was mentioning, like a lot have been closing down. I miss that kind of atmosphere where you're hanging out, and that's where you get the recommendations from people. Like what kind of when
yes.
you see it in that same genre, like oh, this looks like an interesting. And then, tas papaburn mo sa, sa tropa mo. Yun din
Yeah,
ako.
yun. Oh yeah,
Kasi
speaking of
can't afford it.
speaking
Ang
of
mahal kaya ng mga albums.
300,
Oo,
mahal nun, ah.
yeah,
mahal.
Uy,
speaking of mga
allowance ko yun.
places where to buy. I remember buying
Uh,
albums in various places. Original stuff. I remember sometimes going to fully booked in BGC pa.
Oh my
Oh my god, that place has
gosh.
been there for so long. Okay, now come to
Giant
think of it.
BGC
And
branch.
then
Yeah.
any Odyssey in SM or Astrovision
Yes.
SM.
Yes.
And
Tower
Mas
then
mahal
Records
na pala ngayon
Glorieta.
ng CDs.
Yeah,
next
900.
to
nasa
that,
1,000 na siya.
Oo,
yeah, and
Used.
mahal
then
na.
next to that, I'll buy a new set of earphones because my earphones sometimes only last for like a few months.
Hmm.
It's a reason. And then I'd hate the sound of the new earphones because I haven't adjusted to their tone. But yeah, it's really fun. But yeah, Paramore is really cool. Yeah, they had a great run rin of songs
And
in
they're making new
She's
music,
still
so they're
out.
coming back
Yeah, they're
soon.
still active. And Hailey has a
Yeah.
line of tea, herbal tea.
yeah. Also
So
also
that's
like
how you
Hair dye.
feel old. She has
Also
like
hair
Solita, oh
dye.
purple
Really
no.
has a hair
hair dye.
dye company.
That's pretty youthful, pa. Pero when I heard that she had like a line of herbal tea, I was like, okay, we're
Yeah,
old
Tita
now.
na si Hailey.
Oh
Tita
my
na.
god,
Lagi
Tita
na ako sa
Haley.
salon pa.
yeah.
Ayaw
But yeah,
pwede na.
oh no, Salon Pass era.
Oo.
Yeah.
Shit,
But
oh my
yeah,
god.
a lot of the bands here, I think one thing that one pet peeve I have with people is like when they ask about bands that they've heard from long ago and wonder what they're doing now. It's they feel like this band died or something. But no, when like there most bands just experience like a peak. They're in the mainstream, and when they're not in the mainstream, they think like they're gone or something. But no, most of them just go back to their usual cycle of they're always in festivals. Like they're always in a concert every now and then. They're always like touring. So like I don't get like just because they're out of like the mainstream loop, they're dead or something.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
how
it helps. Yeah. It helps to
yeah.
have social media to kind of check in on these
Oh
artists. Like,
yeah.
oh yes, they're still active. Like, cause back then, what we had Multiply, Friendster, so it
Yeah,
wasn't
when they're no
as
longer in the mixed top 10, you're gonna be worried eh.
what
Yeah.
happened. But now you can see what happened. Like even the most mundane activities you see on their feed.
That's
Yeah,
Like I
I
actually
know
wonder
true.
what
Brendan Urie had the
what
Vine
Haley's
phase,
doing
diba?
right now.
So you'll find out na, they went through these different phases. So yeah, you kind of watch them grow up, whether
Yeah,
it
we
be
grow
via
up along
Tumblr,
with
Live
them.
Journal, or whatever avenue you get updates on. Yeah, okay. Now our next pick, we're down to our like last four.
The last,
So
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
Oh
last
my
fast.
four?
god.
Yeah,
We
okay.
made it.
Next up we have I'm So Sick by Flyleaf, which
oh.
is oh my god, Fly I
Tagal.
remember I remember hearing my first Flyleaf song was not from the band itself, was from one of the high school bands that were performing in the Battle of the Bands. And I remember the vocalist of that band screaming, and then wait, what song is she singing? And then
Really.
I know it was Flyleaf, and then I realized, oh my god, Flyleaf was just on a level. But yeah, oh my god. Also cool pala to see a lot of female fronted bands during this time, like go mainstream. Like it was so cool. Like kasi there were so many everyone was encouraged to pick up a guitar and sing
Yeah.
or do instruments. Like it was a time that everyone became musically inclined for any period in time, whether it be like just a year, a few months. Basta like you at least a couple of people, maybe 3 out of 5 people bought a guitar, maybe played it a bit, and maybe not, and now it's stuck in their house, in their rooms for the longest time. But yeah, I'm So Sick is Jackie's pick, but I think she'll be back. Jackie. Yeah, and then but yeah, Flyleaf is one of those. It's one of the louder bands here,
I
I
remember
would say.
my first exposure to I'm So Sick was on Rock Band. Remember that game?
Rock
Guitar
Band and Guitar
Hero and
Hero
Rock
Oh my
was
Band.
god.
like was like a mini iPod of its own, because you get introduced to a lot of bands rin at that time. Whether it be the retro Guitar Hero ones where they had
Yes.
80s and 80s, or they had
Yeah, and
Aerosmith,
they had
Metallica, and Rock
Paramore
Band had
in Guitar Hero,
Beatles.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
right?
did.
Paramore was there. A lot of the mainstream bands were there. But I remember most of the Guitar Hero and Rock Band songs, Guitar Hero specifically, most of their songs weren't by their artist. Like they were kind of slightly covered because like
Hmm.
parang
Because
to prevent
mag
copyright licensing issues for
mahal
their
yun,
end.
'no? Mahal yung original master
Yeah,
for
but yeah, it
the
was really
tracks, yeah.
interesting. And yeah, but yeah, there's so many ways pala to
Yeah.
experience bands. And
Yeah,
yeah.
when you brought up pala, Jude, that, I remember in Katipunan, so people who went to Ateneo during that time, I'm really carbon dating myself. There was like a place where they would rent out rock band peripherals. So you could hang out there, you'd pay by the hour and play with your friends. And that's how we spent time. Eh, hindi pa super ma-esports nung era na yun. Cause like, I remember playing like Left 4 Dead during that time sa may
Oh
Blue
my
Skies.
gosh, mga ano.
Like,
Dota
it was in
1
that
was a
era.
phase.
Was I remember we would have parties, and that would be our party. Like we would have snacks, and then we would play Guitar Hero or Rock Band by the hour. Tapos yun na, that's what we would do in between classes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
it's very interesting when you mentioned that everyone was becoming musically inclined. I think that also helped kind of introduce people to like a whole discography, like whole different genre, also different decades of music, but also just the musicality of it. And, like yung feeling mo, wow, I'm a guitarist. Pero like for buttons lang yun. So, talagang
Yeah.
bilang yun ng mga ibang tao eh.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it was also the reason why, our local scene grew and grew a lot during the 2010s. Kasi that was there was a time that I was in college, I think there was a time one of our bandmates asked, "Do we really want to do this seriously? Let's go." And then yeah, that's that's that
Tara!
spurred a lot of especially during the 2010s. But yeah, Jackie, your pick is "I'm
I'm
So
back.
Sick" by Flyleaf,
Yeah.
the screamo
So
pick.
so I'm so sick because um again it was back in high school, and this was like around the time then yun nga, as you mentioned earlier, Jude, there were a lot of like female fronted bands that came out
Mm-hmm.
a lot that around that time. And one of my classmates in high school was like, "Oh, I love Flyleaf because um their songs are more like emo than Paramore, blah blah blah." But like
Mm-hmm.
Haley was a better singer. And when I listened to Flyleaf, like was the first band that I heard na nagsiscreamo yung female vocalist. It was amazing. Like I don't know why at that time it was like it was I don't know why I didn't think it was possible. Come to think of it, nga, like it's supposed to be easier if you're a female singer. But anyway, yeah, I'm so sick. Like if you're thinking of like, I mean, it's like the lyric is just like she's just sick of the world, diba?
Mm-hmm.
And then and then the other Flyleaf songs that became famous is like a whole like 360. Like what song was that?
Fully Alive.
They, well, yeah. Then there was There For You, and then Cassie is another dark song. Parang they go back and forth. The dark and then emotional and then And actually, Flyleaf is a Christian band.
I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they're kind. I don't know if they were like Christian rock, but like they were a Christian band, and I think All Around Me, yeah, All Around Me was sort of a Christian song
Like
if you think about it.
like a
Yeah,
holy song.
yeah. So yeah, they're one of the. I don't know. I actually don't know what happened to them. Like I only know like they had like two albums and then they disappeared from the face of the earth.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
yeah, most bands have their peak. So like yeah, there are a lot of bands like that don't really, only have a few albums. Like it's a common thing. But yeah, but Flyleaf was one of the bands that we're like defining kasi like yeah, so many female fronted bands at that time. Hey Monday was one of them. Hey
Oh,
Monday.
hey Monday. I
Oh
have
my
that
god,
CD.
Um
Cassidy
Cassidy
is
Pope from
now
The Boys.
Cassidy
Oh,
is now like a country pop singer.
yeah.
oh
Oh.
no,
She
country
won The
pop.
Voice.
Yeah, di ba?
She
Yeah,
was
Ah,
on the
with
okay.
phone.
CeeLo. Yeah.
Ah. Hmm.
But yeah, now we're going to our last few picks and
Hmm.
let's go. For next up we have "Mama" by My Chemical Romance.
Yes, My Chemical Romance sweeping the top spot and sweeping all our choices. Also, Fallout Boy. Shout out to my hat. This is from high school or college, and it's still alive with my
Thank you,
pink
Patrick
skull.
Stump,
Nice.
for
Thank you,
influencing.
Patrick Stump, for influencing my fashion sense during that era.
Oh my God.
And Brendan Urie, of course.
Nice.
So, I have the album. What I was mentioning earlier in the stream. Uh, I really, I really relate on a personal level to the pop punk and emo genre because it felt like a kinship with people my age range, like my generation. Like it felt like I had ownership of a genre, so to speak, because I didn't learn it from like my family or I didn't learn it from parents. I learned it from friends. I learned it from my peers. I remember My Chemical Romance. I think a friend introduced me to it, so we would listen. When you have to share your
Oh my
earphones,
gosh,
and then you're
yeah.
gonna listen on their CD Walkman thing, sobrang bulky, and you're just like listening together. And that's how I got into My Chemical Romance, and I got into this was just sakto lang. It was when they just released Black Parade. Yeah. So I feel like it's their magnum opus. Just I love that how it tells like an overarching story. Of course, goes without saying, I love the art by Gerard Way, right? Because he's also responsible for Umbrella Academy and Penny Parker. So yeah, I just want to show the. I love the CD. I love the art. Like it's so worth the purchase. Like it's such beautiful art. So Mama reminds me of Bohemian Rhapsody because they both have Mama in the song. Like because Mama's about someone who just came from a war, like wounded and really damaged, and he's like asking forgiveness from his mom. Like that's why he's like, I should have been a better why you should have raised a baby girl. I should have been a better son. So I like how it's in that part of the album where there's conflict and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, mom." I don't know why it really spoke to me. And I love the chorus or like when it gets to the drop, like pag sa dubstep, yung parang may drop. I love the drop sa Mamba, like, and when we go, don't blame us, yeah. Like, that one is, it made me so fired up, even though at the time, like, ano ba yung problems ko, like, school and all that. But I was like, yes, it's like I'm fighting a war. I love it, so whimsical. Mama is my most played track from the album. I had a hard time choosing actually because I wanted Sleep, I wanted I Don't Love You, of course I wanted Famous Last Words, but I had to actually every track, every track I will put. If you told me it was like an album kind of list, I would put this album. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
just I really love this song. I think every song is an anthem. This feels like a cry for help, but it's sung in such a very creative way and very catchy way. That's Gerard way. There you go.
But yeah, oh, Jared Way in a nutshell. But yeah, um, Black Parade is one of the best. It was an emo concept album actually. Really cool. It's an entire
Yeah,
story.
ang
It's
ganda.
really
I
fun.
wanted to add, I forgot. That's why I put it in the top because I watched, like, pinaghirap ako to watch this concert. Like, I really begged my dad to watch this concert, yung payagan, but thank goodness na payagan ako in the end. Like, I really worked hard to get this ticket and watch them
Mm.
live. So, super worth it. I was Jared Way looked like an apparition. Medyo malayo ako, but it was so worth
Sobrang
it.
pale niya.
Just, ang layo niya eh. Ang layo niya from me, pero
Mm.
so worth it just to hear that whole album live. It was like it was so surreal. Like, it felt like an out-of-body experience. So that's why nasa top siya for me. I just remember really loving the live concert experience. I really miss it. I hope we have it again and the kids of this generation can experience what we did when we got to watch all these bands. Like, they were accessible during our time. Like, they
Yeah.
had mall shows and they had all those mga MOA grounds concerts
Oh
and all that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ang
So yeah,
dami.
I really miss that time. So hopefully we get back to that live concert time in our
Yeah,
lives.
I
We can
kind of
just
miss
rock out.
going to Wonderlands for some reason.
Oo, yung,
'Cause-
yung, I mean, I don't miss the body odor, but I kind of like the camaraderie of being in like a crowded audience and just
Mhm.
singing along to an anthem. So, di ba? Like, yeah, gaganon ka. And medyo pangit pa yung mga camera resolution sa phone nun. So, not a lot of people were like just doing that on
Digicam pa
their
yung
phones,
gamit.
right?
Mm.
People were just
Yeah.
people were just vibing and just enjoying the concert. I wish that happens more often. I know there are concerts where they ban cell phones so that you can just really vibe. So I just
Oh.
want to experience that kind of concert again.
Oh, but yeah, concerts, gigs, yeah, we all
Mm-mm.
miss them now. So yeah, next entry is that my topic, Dance Dance by Fall Out Boy. Yeah, this is like one of the quintessential Fall Out Boy songs next to Sugar We're Going Down. This one. So yeah, Dance Dance is just, I don't know. There's just something about this na it has this rapid fire chorus, and it has a couple of anthemic parts. The pre-chorus, it's in itself like
Yeah,
ano,
I like the bass line of this song. Dun,
it's the
dun,
only
dun,
bass line that you can hear in a
dun,
Fallout Boy
dun,
song from
dun,
Pete
dun.
Wentz. Because
Ganda, no? Mhm.
Pete Wentz, I'm sorry, Pete Wentz, but your bass lines are non-existent in Fallout Boy songs. I try my best to listen to Fallout Boy songs. I think From Under the Cork Tree was the only time his bass guitar was ever plugged in. Because I can't hear it in other songs that
It's
much.
very prominent sa dun, 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 dun,
Like,
dun.
there's no other Fallout Boy song that has like that kind of bass line, or at least a baseline you remember. But yeah, I was thinking of which Fall Out Boy song I'd include. Yeah, I mentioned kanina, so Four More Slump or
Mm.
Comeback of the Year was like a contender, or I Slept with Someone Fall, but no, that was a stupid song written about me.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
I
gonna be
remember that.
there, which is like arguably their fastest song ever, like one of their most aggressive song ever. Because it was a time that they were young and they can still do that. They can still spin around, di ba? Fall Out Boy loves to spin
Pabagal na
around with,
pabagal na yung songs.
yeah. But yeah, that song was almost there because it was so it was so aggressive. It was like raw energy in that felt so pop punk at that
Tsaka
time.
it's
It
so
was
real, no? Like, that they really based it on their lives. Like, they based it on something
yeah,
they
very
did. Like, it's
relatable. Like
it's super specific kasi yung mga lyrics
you,
nila.
they wrote it in high school. Yun. It's the most.
Oo, yun,
But yeah,
Panic at
Dance
the
Dance
Disco.
was such a great song. It had that riff. It had that bass line. It had Patrick Stump singing his lungs out, and
Oh, he was still dun. He was still a cute chubby boy. Diba he
he
kind of
had the
lost weight,
truck.
but
Yeah, Patrick
he got
Stump Trucker
all
had era.
fashion. But I miss his like this one, the hat era where he was just like a bit plump
Yung may
and
cheeks
he was
pa
just
siya.
rocking. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
cute. Natuwa
I
lang ako
call
sa
it.
kanya.
I was calling it a trucker hat Patrick Stump
Yeah.
era.
Like
Ah,
everyone
yeah.
had this kind of hat.
But yeah, I remember there was also the time that after Folia Dude during the hiatus, he had a solo career where he
Yeah.
where
Yeah, he
he
He went
did. Where he
pop,
had like a
yeah.
suit and he was all like cool. He was doing his.
Spiky hair.
it was a great it was a fun time rin. But yeah, Dance Dance was like the definitive Fall Out Boy song. I think it was the first one I've heard. Maybe
Yeah.
the
I
first
have
one
a
I've heard.
question though. Which album was the time when Pete Wentz was with Ashley Simpson? Like, remember when they were together?
I think it was Infinity on
Infinity
High,
on
or
High.
Ah, do you think?
in between Infinity on High and when they were recording Folia Dude.
I'm wondering which songs are about her.
Oh well, that's a good question. Good
But
for
I remember
research.
that. That was like, she was like wearing all the mga, like, I guess during the time it was the mini skirts, the checkered. People had like leather cuffs. Yun. So I just remember them being like such a pop punk couple.
Yeah, there was a time. Yeah, Dance Dance is my favorite pop punk song, or whether it be pop punk or emo era. Yeah, this is my pick. It's not good, and yeah, this is artist of the decade on my Spotify. When I saw it talaga, I can't believe it. My God, what? But to be fair, I was listening to like a huge back catalog of all of them. But yeah. Our last song on the list is Jackie Speaking. It's My Heart by Paramore. It's another Paramore song. So yeah, Paramore. Let's go.
Hello. So, okay, this is picking a Paramore song was hard because I love a lot of Paramore songs, and I mean default choice sana if ang usapan lang naman is like the emo Paramore song that defined like my high school is Misery Business, obviously. Pero looking back at it, like my heart stood out because at that time it was like my playlist was like Misery Business, Pressure, Emergency, um, what have you. And then my heart was um ano ba? I loved it because it's romantic in a way. Saka ano, parang nung time na yun, like my emo classmates are like um oh my gosh, like I would love to give my heart to like my crush or something. Or like kahit hindi ako crush ng crush ko,
Nice.
I'll give my heart to them or something like that.
Oh,
Oh.
But also,
yun yung pinaghuhugutan natin before hugot mo
yeah,
sa term. Emo tayo,
exactly.
puro crush. May crush
Tapos,
din. Notice mo.
yeah, oh my God. Tapos, ano, parang, it stands out din kasi di ba parang it's so like mellow and ano, and then
Mm.
towards the end it's like nag-scream na si Josh Farrow. Tapos um also this song is memorable for me because back in college, I forgot anong
Mm.
year. Basta graduating yata ako. Graduating ako. Um, my friends and I, so there was a time that my friends and I would sing at our friends' debuts.
Mhm.
Tapos there was a weekend na back-to-back yung debut. In both days, like I had to sing my heart with my friends. So like after that weekend, ay wala na akong boses basically. So
Oh.
ayun.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, it's Paramore is special to me because when I was in high school, like my dream was like to sing in a band.
Mm.
And si Hailey yung peg ko. Yeah, ayun.
Sample.
No.
But
Jude
yeah,
knows
let's
that. Jude
go.
knows that.
Every now and then. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, that's our list. That's 20 songs. That's a nice little that's a nice little playlist. To be fair, I would put entire albums now on Spotify on shuffle since I enjoyed it. But yeah, looking at comments, there's so many stuff. Oh yeah, speaking of the solo Patrick Stump, Soul Punk was his solo album.
Yeah.
Ah, nice,
When he had
nice.
And I
like when he
remember
was
it had
singing through with the suit.
two versions of the same song in this city with which the other one was like a pop version or like a chiller version, and then there was a song with Lupe Fiasco. The other one had Lupe Fiasco pala.
Mm.
And then
Yeah, he should do
what
more solo things.
and
Like
then Love Selfish Love was like his the first one I heard kasi he was performing it alone with a looper. Since he only had like two instruments or a drum machine, so it was so cool. Oh yeah, more concert
yeah,
grounds.
I miss the concert grounds.
Concert grounds are the best. And yeah, also if CDs are the 2000s thing, vinyl is a bit more prominent now
Yeah,
than
that's true.
before, which is really cool because yeah, it's
We're
actually a
circling
really
back.
yeah, it's a really durable type of type of records. So CDs kasi tend to get scratched and microwave themselves for some reason. I remember
Yeah.
yung CD player na tabig mo lang, it will skip, it will go
Eh,
jumpy.
ganon. Or pag pirated yung nagjo-jump talaga.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, if it's
mm.
pirated, you'll see a line of
Eh,
scratches
eh, eh,
after a
eh.
couple of listens.
Kaya
So
worth
yeah,
the talaga investment yung rig, guys.
yeah. All American
Beautiful
Rejects we
art.
mentioned. Yeah, Swing Swing, it ends the night. Move
Oh
along.
Swing,
Oh
swing.
Oh, I almost forgot not to mention this band. No, Good
True.
Charlotte was no was another.
Oh, shit,
I
Yeah.
remember
man.
having I remember thinking of adding Good Charlotte to the list, but there's the other songs because they're just too powerful. But Good Charlotte
You,
was
Mm.
how come no one mentioned Simple Plan? Did we mention Simple
oh yeah,
Plan?
Simple
We
Plan.
didn't,
Yan ang,
yeah.
Yeah.
yan ang, I hate my parents, anthem. Ano yung song
Mm-mm.
nila? Hey,
Per
Dad, look at me. Ayun,
and
I'm
then
sorry,
Oh.
I
Perfect
can't be
was there.
perfect. There you go.
Simple Plan's Perfect was defining Dashboard Confessional, who's only like one guy. I am
Yeah,
Dashboard
Yeah.
it's
Oo nga,
Confessional.
crazy.
pero he's like, I
And now
love that
it's
I
like
am a
Brendan,
band.
you're saying I'm Panic at the Disco, diba? It's the same thing now.
Yeah.
I have to compare because I really love that collab with Brendan and Ryan. Like, I really love the music that came out of that. So, I don't know how it is these days. So, we'll
Mhm.
see.
Mm-mm.
Maybe I'll try to explore it after this conversation.
Mm-mm.
Yun, I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. Yeah, simple plan talaga kung gusto mo humugot and just complain about your parents.
Yeah.
Take simple plan and just blast it super loud in your room.
Very true.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, there's so many other artists. Sum 41, Avril
Mhm.
The
Lavigne
Secondhand
is
use.
Avril
Serenade.
Lavigne
The
counts.
Oh
use.
man, ang dami.
The Used. Oh my god, the
And
Used.
they had such a good rendition of Under Pressure. It was like Jared Way with the use, and it was like a pop punk. They also had like Christmas Goes Pop Punk. Like Christmas
Yeah,
Goes
I
Punk.
think
Do
I've
you
Mm-mm.
heard of
remember
that
all those
one.
albums where it was all
Pop
the
pop goes
pop
punk.
punk
Yeah.
bands, right?
Pop
And
Goes Punk
yeah, and they
was
had
an
like Christmas
experience.
Goes Punk.
Fun.
Like
There was a Disney one also.
oo, lahat na. Like, they made it all, like, it's gonna be punk. Like, there's like the usual riffs and the way they sing. Pero nakakatuwa yung screamo. Like, I think there's a certain skill to like
Yeah.
do the scream without
Yeah.
sounding really shrill. Like, it
Mm-mm.
still sounds like music.
Yeah.
Avril was
Yeah, it's
married to the
really
vocal. Yes, she was, because they're both Canadian. To
Yeah.
Sum
She was
41.
married to Derek Whibley.
Yeah.
And then when
Derek
they
Whibley.
when they got a divorce, like both of them simultaneously released like really sad albums.
Yun yung nakakatawa pag musician pareho eh.
Yeah.
Hugot albums.
Hmm.
Yeah. Also, I remember for some reason I remember Esquire had a signature Derek Whibley Telecaster. A
Really?
signature
Yeah? I
guitar.
don't
Yeah, some of the
remember.
pop punk guys have their own signature guitars.
How
Hmm.
So it was
interesting.
really interesting. Well also yeah, we can count pala Green Day
Oh
as
my
pop punk of
gosh.
its time.
Although
So
they
Our
feel like a precursor,
forefathers.
no? They feel like
American
before our time eh.
yeah,
When
American
we're Gen
Idiot
X. Yeah.
was kasi pre-high school. So like but yeah, it was
Yeah.
21 Guns though.
Was
That's
Oh,
the one in high
different.
school.
Like, you would hear
Yeah.
it everywhere.
lahat ng station,
And,
my God.
that was like their hurrah in that for that time. So
So
Yeah.
interesting yung
them
mga
saying
songs
hi.
about heartbreak, hating your parents, wanting to move out. And then you'd have the whimsical ones. Like would you consider Coheed and Cambria pop punk or not really? More of alternative.
Emo.
But I would still put
Yeah.
them in my playlist. Because
Mhm.
I miss like, ayun, Suffering, The Suffering. At saka yung
Mhm.
Favor House Atlantic.
Yeah, there were
Listen well, we're the movie. Like, I love that
I
it also
remember
had a
that.
story. I love albums with a story. Yung
Yeah.
sa Coheed Cambria and also yung sa Black Parade. Like, anything that has an overarching narrative
Mm.
is always
but
such a good listen from
Mm-mm.
first track to the last one. Yes, Coheed.
yeah,
Thank you, Ika. Freaking
there were
love
so
that.
many perfect albums. There's so many perfect albums during this time. It's just hard to drop a song or skip a song. So yeah, skipping songs is not a thing usually,
Na-
especially when you're in an iPod shuffle where you really don't know what's the next one because there's no screen and
Yeah.
it's on my it's tied to my chest pocket. That's why it
So
got
see,
confiscated.
yeah, and when you're playing a CD, I don't really like skipping around because I don't really like scratching it, so I just let it play. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
do your thing. Let them play all
Yeah,
the tracks.
good thing cassettes weren't a thing because cassettes would be ruined so bad. during
I
our
miss.
True.
I
time.
hope. I don't know what's the new version of burning like a playlist for a crush or like a
Oo
friend.
nga 'no,
Like
wala
my
na,
Buying
friends
eh.
would make
Spotify
me.
Premium and
We would
sending
make
over the
playlists.
playlist.
So it's via Spotify or like online. Like it's
Playlists
what
na lang, oo.
the kids do now.
Mm.
Yeah, wala ng appeal.
Oh, that's not the same thing. You have to like
Ano,
you have to
Spotify playlist
decorate
na
the
lang,
album
oo.
cover yourself.
But yeah,
No,
it's
parang
still
Oo.
it's
ano.
still really nice though. Like sending over playlists. It's
That's
cool.
true.
Mm.
That's like a love language for me. Like send me your
True.
playlists. I will
Mhm.
appreciate and I will share you
Yeah, I
mine.
remember my ultimate love language at work is sending an album filled with the craziest songs to
Hmm.
listen to at the last hour of work. But yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, sending playlists is the new burning CDs, and it's really fun because it's still the same adventure. You're still choosing which song. It's a bit more convenient rin naman. It's a bit more
That's
convenient
Mm-hmm.
true. I
like you can
mean,
search to. And yeah,
less
or
storage
maybe
space.
the next level is making a vinyl for one person.
Yan, gusto ko yan.
Oh.
Oh
Gusto
my
ko yan.
God.
Gusto
I
ko
made a
yan.
vinyl for you.
No, pero ang ganda, it's a very personal activity to
And then
choose
you
songs
knock
that you
over
feel,
you
yeah,
have to do the classic high school romantic thing and throw a pebble at the window and then show the
I don't
vinyl.
know lang sa Pilipinas kung pwede yun kasi maraming usesera na kapitbahay.
Ay,
Unlike sa
oo.
Oo.
States na pwede yung mga runaway together dito. Nakita mo ba
Oo.
si
Oh
gano'n?
yeah,
Tas
baka
yung,
yeah, yung problem pala curfew would
Susumbungin kita sa
prevent you from
barangay!
doing. Yeah, yun.
Paparangay kita.
tas yung mga
So
bakod
yun.
may basag na bubog, ganun.
Oo.
Oo nga, hindi pwede yung romantic doon. No, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But,
I
oh
was
my god.
saying,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's very personal to do that and to just choose tracks that you think the other person will like, or usually it's something that reminds you of them if it's like a romantic thing. Or pwede
Yeah.
naman platonic. Like I have friends who would send me playlists na nakaburn sa CD before. And that was always one of the much appreciated gifts for me. Like, diba? It's very priceless to
Mm.
gift yourself the gift of taste. Give that to your friend.
But yeah, oh my god, it's either that or Harana, which is which
Oh
is
my
at times
God.
cute, borderlines on cute and cringy. For the most part, it's the latter.
Mm.
Depending
True.
kung type mo eh. Baka creepy kasi kung hindi mo type.
Okay,
Totoo
yeah,
yan.
I think before we end this episode, yeah, there was this Harana I joined. We got
Mhm.
late for class. My teacher got pissed, and then
Oh.
The Harana failed spectacularly. The guy who did it took it personally. My classmate who did took it personally. Like
Wala.
yeah, salty as heck guy. But yeah, that guy that to be fair, like I don't know why he had to go extra for that stuff, but it was annoying. It was more annoying than cute. Kaya so
Oh.
Depends eh. Like, and there's also
yeah,
consent involved. Like,
there's a way to execute it that it doesn't sound like
yeah,
There was
parang,
also this
oo.
yung pambawi naman I remember was that there were a group of friends. There was a high school barkada in my batch. What they did was they sang fireworks to each other as like their Valentine's thing.
Like
It's
Katy
cute
Perry.
naman. Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah.
Oo nga.
No, but yeah, it depends on the consent as well. I mean, if you're vibing with the person, but if you don't know the person and you do that, it's creepy. Don't do it if you
True.
don't know the person
Yeah.
personally.
I think the best advice to people who would try that, no, they won't like that song. just, 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 just do a preemptive strike on their Harana plans and just tell them to
No.
stop.
Parang yung
No.
mga proposals ngayon, di ba?
Oh
Yung like,
God.
like the flash
I,
mob proposals.
Oh.
I have seen an actual rose petal proposal in my high school, so I would
Wow.
never want to see that again.
Yeah, I've seen that rin sa college. Like okay, good for you.
Tas may
But yeah,
blue
Yung
that's
magic na
super
teddy
grand
bear.
ones.
Ganun.
Yeah.
oh my god. But yeah, that's our pop punk episode. That's 20 songs, 20 really really nice songs, and yay, That's hey, we did it, guys! Yay!
Yay! And that was such a great trip down Hugot Lane,
Yeah.
Emo Avenue,
Yep.
Ocean Avenue.
Yeah.
Nakakamiss.
But yeah, okay, before we end the episode, for those who are watching and commenting, thank you so much. Yeah, there were
Thank
so
you,
many,
thank you.
lots
They're
of
so
suggestions, lots
active.
of we had to extend our honorable mentions there because there were so many
Yeah. So
we had
so
to
many.
drop for the top five,
Yeah, but
painfully and
yeah.
painfully, but
Wasn't
it's
it fun
fine.
though to like go through our playlists again? Because like when you asked
Yeah.
us for the top five, I was like, okay, I have to listen again, and then it was like a rabbit hole, and I just kept listening and listening to
Yeah,
all
it's
the
worth
bands
the
from before.
it's worth the spot, it's worth the playtime.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that again after this conversation. I'm gonna blast emo songs again.
Well, that's always a great move. But yeah, for those who are gonna listen to the audio version of this podcast, you can listen to this and the other episodes of the Geeky Ones on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Player FM, and so many other podcast platforms we have yet to claim. But yeah, apart from that, you can also follow the Geeky Ones at the Geeky Ones on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. And you can also go to the geekyones.com where we write about blogs about various things, even about episode topics. It's like an extended discussion there for various episodes or different other topics. So yeah. Also, you can also find Karen. Where can we find you?
Where can you
I know where you can find you on Instagram. But yeah, if there are any places or anything you want to promote,
Yeah, oh, well, just check out the Instagram. Maybe, maybe I'll have a site soon. Maybe, hopefully by the next one, because we still
Nice.
have to talk about K Zone in another.
Yes. Oh my
oh
God,
yeah,
K
K
Zone.
Zone.
I mean, you were one of the last guards of that
Yeah, I was
magazine,
the
no?
part of the last stuff. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, when you make it
man.
sound
Why
so
did K Zone sound like a
foreboding.
fortress there? But yeah,
Like I have like a shield, like
It's gonna be a very interesting story. Like just
yeah,
like yeah, we
for
like
sure.
hopefully one day we could have that interview in person. Hopefully,
Yeah, yeah,
hopefully,
definitely.
hopefully, hopefully.
Let's
yeah.
make that happen.
But yeah,
Yeah, I had so
for
much fun.
Yeah.
okay, but yeah, for us on the Geeky Ones, for Steven, you can find him at. Let me just find this one. That's Stevie said yep. So Steven,
Yeah.
your stuff here.
I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, ranting about hockey. That's pretty much it. And uploading clips of Animal Crossing on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that.
Camel
Oh,
Crossing. That's cool.
and there's Pokemon Legends out now.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta
and
save up for that. Considered the best game na daw kasi you could actually get
I
hurt by the
know.
Pokemon.
yeah, Pokemon
And
can
you
now
and you
actually fight you and
People.
fight back
finally
finally,
claim revenge on you, which is kind of cool. But
and
yeah,
there's fall
um,
damage.
Yeah.
yeah, for mine, you can find me on Dude It's Jude on Facebook, and I stream video games every now and then. I'm just a bit busy at work, so I'm not streaming right now. But yeah, uh, I don't know what to stream, but I might stream Yu-Gi-Oh because Yu-Gi-Oh has taken over a good chunk of my month right now, so that's gonna be cool. But yeah, that has been episode 105 of the Geeky Ones, and thank you so much to everyone here. Yay! So
Yay!
yeah,
Right.
happy
Nice.
hands, guys. Happy
Woo!
Yay!
Happy hands. Jazz
Anyway,
hands.
I'm not
Yay!
on cam, but I'm happy handing.
Yay!
figurative happy hands. Anyway, but yeah, yeah, that has been episode 105, and as usual, we'll be seeing you in the next episode. And thank you for listening or watching, whichever form you're consuming this podcast. Thank you so much. So yeah, until then, we'll see you next episode. So goodbye, guys.
Bye.